Over the past couple months, I've been planning on making a video like this where you budget with me, but I just realized this past month that we're actually pretty broke. I started working for myself last November, and ever since then, we've been obviously taking money out of our business in order to survive while also getting my wife's paycheck. And so in today's video, I'm going to break down our budget for the month of April and explain kind of how we're able to continue to live and why it took me about 5 months to realize that I was broke.
I wanted to make a real quick interjection here because even though I think that the rest of this video is still super valid, my wife made a great point when I had an interview section with her coming up here in a second. And she was saying that it is pretty misleading to say that we are quote unquote broke. And I'm going to share that with you guys here, and then we'll get on with the rest of the video, and then we'll end up with that interview section with her.
Titling this video pretty much, I just realized that we're broke. April monthly budget breakdown.
That's so misleading. We aren't broke. Broke is when you don't have any money. We have money. We just don't have...
We don't have any discretionary spending money pretty much.
But that's not what broke means. We're very responsible. We just have very specific priorities.
What you said is definitely true. We're not broke, but we just don't have a lot of income right now. So I had to check my privilege there for a second.
If we're just meeting, my name is Anthony, and I want us to not be done with our money. So today, to be a little bit smarter, we're going to walk through my budget and see exactly how we're able to live our lives pretty normally, even though we cut our income by about half. So if we go back to October, which is the last full month that I had pay, our income was $6,159. I also had a third pay. So it was normally closer to around $5,000. Put $1,200 towards our savings, $500 into an IRA, give around $700, and be very comfortable, because when we're giving $700 and investing and saving $1,700, there's a lot of room for errors in our budget. But these past couple months, there really hasn't been that much, because as you can see this month, upcoming in April, our budget is only $3,389, so about half of what that last month was. We have my wife's paycheck, which is $2,229, and then $975 coming out of our business. And then we have $175 that we paid through the business and $10 of carryover for last month. As we walk through things, I'll break it down into categories and put the percentages on the screen for how much it amounts to out of that $3,400. And honestly, it's a budget. Not everything is super interesting, but as things are interesting, I'll go over them with you. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. Our giving is $320.25 of a normal tithe, which is a pretty traditional thing to do if you're a Christian going to a church, and then $100 of just extra giving to whatever we want. We don't have any savings right now, which is a little bit scary. And then our housing is $85 for our electric bill, $1,306 for our rent plus our water, $65 for our Wi-Fi, $50 for maintenance, $185 for gas, which is normally $200, but because we're not bringing in a lot of money, we had to lower the amount that we're spending on gas. For food, we do $300 in groceries, $25 for coffee shops, and $100 for eating out, which is normally pretty easy for us to do. Then we do $90 for our phone, $10 for discretionary, which just like gas is normally $50, so we had to move $40 from that. $20 for personals, which is normally $25, which is like toiletries and other things like that. $50 for date fund, which we will never compromise on. $11.26 for Spotify Premium, because we have to pay a tax in Florida, which stinks because we use Hulu from it. $30 for the gym, $0 for fitness, which is normally $30 as well. But then we get down to paid from business, and this is where our budget's a little bit different than a lot of people's budgets, unless maybe you run a business and have that business be pretty tied in with your lifestyle. But the businesses that we're running are reselling, and then Carissa has a digital marketing, and then this YouTube channel and 2 other YouTube channels that we're working on starting up over the course of this year. But because we built a business around our lifestyle, there are a couple of things that we used to pay last year when we were just sole proprietors from our budget that I've just kept in the budget except moved into paid from business, and I just transfer money from our owner pay account into our credit card payoff account in the business, which I'll explain more about in a future video if you guys are interested in business accounting and how we do all of our accounts and percentages there. $47 for YouTube, which I use $30 of for Adobe, and $17 towards paying off a music subscription that I bought on an annual basis. $100 for iPhone payments, because both of our phones are used mostly for business use, whether for her business or for shooting content. $30 for iPhone storage, because that way we can upload everything to the cloud immediately and I can access it on my computer to edit it and don't have to airdrop everything, even though sometimes iCloud is slow and I have to airdrop it anyways. And then $25 for tolls, because most of the time that we're driving and taking toll roads, it's either for my reselling business or because we're going somewhere for one of our other YouTube channels. And then last, we have life insurance, which is only $50 a month. Now we pay this on an annual basis, so this is just going into a savings account, and ideally this would be $100, not $50, because there at least has to be 2 or 3 months before August that are at $100, but we haven't been able to save $100 any of these months because we haven't been making enough money to. And then $276 for auto insurance, which is one of the first reasons why I realized that we are a little bit underfunded in our life, which I think is maybe a better way to say it than broke. It used to be only $208 to $220 for auto insurance, but we actually just bought a van, which I showed in a recent video, and I'll put on the screen here again, that we're planning on living in. And so that's pretty much where that life insurance money went straight into that auto insurance money, plus that $5 from personals, plus a little bit from our discretionary budget. Then we have 2 pretty big expenses that aren't emergency expenses or unexpected expenses, but there are things that we knew were coming that were bigger that are going to cause us to have to sacrifice a little more this month because we're not really making as much. And so this is our spending plan. These are things that come up that we either want to spend money on, and if we get extra income, we can do that, or things that just come up on a one-off basis throughout the month, like my gym's annual membership, which is $60 per year, and then my wife's running shoes, because she's training for an ultra right now, just 30 miles, which is ridiculous, but those are going to be $75 as well. As we've had to deal with less and less income coming in every month, we've really had to look at our expenses and limit that. And one of the major reasons why I don't think that I've noticed that we have lowered our income so much is because we were using a lot of that extra to invest and to save money rather than just spending it on things that we didn't necessarily need. It's not bad if you do end up spending that money, but it's obviously better if you invest or save it. And if you do end up spending some of that money, just having that psychological barrier of telling yourself that it's not actually in your budget, but it's extra and that's okay, can be really helpful for you if you do come into a situation where you're not making as much money. One last thing is you could see that I still have $5.87 left to budget, and a lot of people will say your budget has to equal $0, and that's not important to me at all. I don't think your budget has to do that at all, especially if your number is positive. Like, that just means that money is going to hang out in your bank account. If you spend it, you spend it. If you don't spend it, you don't spend it. As long as you're intentionally working towards your goals and investing and saving money, that's a good thing. If you're interested in more videos like these, because I know some people can just be nosy like me. I really like when people open up their lives and just show me kind of an insider's view. I like this video. That'd be really helpful. I am going to see what my wife has to say if she has any thoughts on this month's budget. All right. Have we gone over this month's budget yet for April?
No, you've kind of stopped going over it with me.
Do you mind that I kind of just do it and we roll?
It depends.
What does it depend on?
Sometimes there's things that you miss and then you get frustrated.
I always try to ask you though. And then sometimes I remember what you say and sometimes I don't remember what you say. All right, well, let's go over this month's budget. We got your pay from the business, $25 for running shoes. Is that cool? I mean, there's really not a lot that we can move around this month, to be honest with you. But we do have some extra money, like in credit card points. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
Doesn't matter, I guess.
No, it does. I just want to be prepared. We also have $5.87 left to budget, so that's cool. How do you feel about the budget?
Indifferent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do you feel about where we are right now? We can't really do a lot with our money, and we're really choosing to not take a lot of I could have stayed at a job and continued working. We could have more spending money than we do.
You don't have counseling in there.
My thought is I'm going to see where we are at the overage at the end of the month, take the extra potentially out of the business to pay for it, because that's the only way we can really do it.
That's fine.
That's stressing me out a little bit too.
It's stressing you out that you forgot about it, or it's stressing you out and you forgot about it?
Both. Yeah.
No.
It's definitely worth it. My question was, how does it make you feel that we... What was my question? I could have stayed and worked. We could have more spending money. If our business does better, then we can have more money. But right now, we really are pretty much paycheck to paycheck in terms of budgeted money, not dipping into any savings. But how does it make you feel that we're not moving forward financially at all?
It doesn't bother me, I guess. Because the only thing we aren't doing is investing right now and saving. But our day-to-day living hasn't really changed. I feel like I'm still, even from when we first got married, I feel like I still have that same mindset, being really frugal with groceries and not frugal, but being really.
I think frugal is the right word.
I don't feel I don't coupon or things like that, but I just want to be intentional. I don't want to buy something for the sake of buying it.
So what do you rate our budget?
10.
10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we did it, guys.
I don't know, but we have one, so that's a 10.
You're right. If you have a budget, it's 10 out of 10. Do you have anything that you want to tell the people?
That you don't need to stress about money. Stick to your budget.
What if they don't have a budget? Do they have to stress then?
No, you just make a budget and then you don't stress.
It's as easy as that, folks.
I'm also telling you, we have a budget, so you don't have to stress.
I don't know about that.
Yes,
I think we're going to have to put that counseling money to work. Do you have anything that the people should do now?
Go watch this video. If this brought you any value, like it. And if it didn't, subscribe to see if it will later on.
Ho ho, she got you there. Bye.